Welcome and good evening. This is Commissioner, and we are set for Game 3 of the Baseball Maelstrom World Series between the Detroit Rockets and the St. Louis Wizards. As a little update for those of you who have been following along, St. Louis, the heavy favorite coming into the World Series, but the Detroit Rockets have taken the first two games in St. Louis, and this is the first game in Detroit. In fact, we are playing at Tiger Stadium. That's the 1983 version of Tiger Stadium. So it will be interesting to see how the Rockets fare at home and how the Wizards fare on the road. Today's matchup sees the lefty-on-lefty matchup as the Rockets starter Frank Tanana faces off against the Wizards' Steve Carlton. Carlton with 4 shutouts this season. But on this stacked St. Louis pitching staff, that was only good enough for a third place in the rotation. So if we come over to baseballmaelstrom.com to take a look at the stats here, let's take a look at the season stats, and we will pull up the Rockets, and we will pull up the Wizards. We see that Frank Tanana was 6-4 this season with a 5.38 ERA. He will be the worst starter that the Wizards have faced so far. And Carlton was 8-4 with a 2.97 ERA. All three of the top 3 pitchers here for the Wizards with ERAs under 3. So let's take a look at the starting lineups. We have slightly different lineups for the Wizards with the lefty on the mound. We have Oscar Charleston, center field, batting leadoff. Orlando Cepeda will be batting second at first base. Chipper Jones playing third base and batting third. Stan Musial hitting cleanup and playing left field. Followed by Larry Walker in right. Tony Gwynn DHing again today, batting 6th. Mike Piazza behind the plate and batting 7th. We'll see how his arm may play into things. Rogers Hornsby again batting 8th at second base, and Ozzie Smith, the shortstop. So let's take a look at the lineup for the Detroit Rockets. Kenny Lofton leading off again, playing center field, followed by Ichiro Suzuki in right. Alex Rodriguez batting third and playing shortstop. Dick Allen cleaning up at first base. Manny Ramirez back out there in left field today against the lefty. Thurman Munson behind the plate, batting 6th. Charlie Blackwell DHing and batting 7th. Adrian Beltre, who was injured in the first inning of the last game, is back in the lineup in this one, batting 8th and playing third base. And Bobby Grich will be batting 9th and playing second base. Grich had a great game in his first appearance in Game 1. We'll see if he has any of that magic left for Game 3 here. All right, so without further ado, Frank Tanana on the mound, and he'll deal to Charleston. Tough 94. And that's going to be a fly out to Ichiro in right for out number 1. Brings up Orlando Cepeda, his first at bat of the World Series. Tough 4, and he strikes him out. That's out number 2. Chipper Jones. He's 1 for 2 with a double here in the World Series so far. That's going to be a defense check. Second base range, 75. He's a C range, and that's going to be an out. It's going to be a ground out to second to end the inning. 1, 2, 3. Not how the Wizards wanted to start this one. And that takes us to the bottom of the first. Kenny Lofton leading off against Steve Carlton. Let's see if Carlton can continue that magic. He ended the season with 2 straight shutouts. Tough 38. And he's going to strike Lofton out. Lofton watches strike 3 go by for the first out here. Brings up Ichiro Suzuki, who's only 3 for 13 in this World Series. In play, 38. That's going to be just past his base hit range here. He's going to pop that one out to Hornsby at second for out number 2. Rodriguez steps in. He's batting .500 so far, 6 for 12 with a home run. 9. This is another dangerous one. That's going to be a wheelhouse. And Alex Rodriguez takes that one deep. And the Rockets are the first to draw blood in Game 3. Carlton doesn't give up very many homers, but he left that one hanging, and Alex Rodriguez made him pay for it. Rockets up 1-0. Still 2 out, and that brings up Dick Allen. That is going to be back-to-back. Allen and Rodriguez go back-to-back in this one. The fans are on their feet already, and this is just the first inning. Carlton, not sure exactly what's going wrong here. Let's just take a look real quick. Carlton, he did have one start that he allowed 2 homers. That was back on May 10th. He's already allowed that many, and this is only the first inning. Manny Ramirez. Tough 67. And Ramirez will ground out to Hornsby to end the inning, but not before 2 big runs as the Rockets offense continues to roll against this pitching. Let's see if the Wizards can respond. Musial in there. Takes his spot here. Patient, 97. And that's going to be a fly out to Ichiro there in right. Larry Walker. Tough 13. And Walker strikes out. Tanana throws that one right by him. Tony Gwynn steps in. Defense. Third base error check. And that's Beltre, who has a pretty good, doesn't make very many errors. 1-29, though, is the error chance here, and it's a 26. Beltre bobbles this one. And Gwynn will get to first on the error. Gwynn eyeing second base. Looks like he has a good jump. 7 with a 7 hold. My guess is he's going to try to steal here. And he will try to steal. B2 18. B2 18. And he's going to get caught at second base. So just like that, they waste the opportunity. I said it before, but I follow the base running regardless of situation, just so we get some realistic caught stealings and so forth. And especially it's early in the game, so not, going to take some chances here or there. All right. Thurman Munson facing off against Steve Carlton, bottom of the second. Tough 21. And Munson drills that one into the gap. Charleston hauls it in, but not before Munson gets to second base. He has a 3-4-8 jump, and that's going to be way too high. So Charlie Blackwell steps in. Tough 38 and strikes out. He watches strike 3 go by. And that's the first out of the second inning here. Adrian Beltre. Ballpark. 77. So it's an in-play result. That was another dangerous one. In-play 40. That's going to be a ground out back to Carlton. And the 9 is higher than both double plays, so it's going to be a fielder's, no, not a fielder's choice. He will look Munson back and throw over to first for out number 2. On 10, 11, 12, I have the runner advance. All right, Bobby Grich, 2 out. Runner on second. Tough, 72. And Carlton will get out of this one with no damage done, as that is a fly out there to center. So that brings us to the 3rd inning. Piazza facing off against Tanana here. Tough, 72. That is going to be a fly out to Lofton in center. So far, the St. Louis bats very quiet. Defense. Second base range. That's Bobby Grich, and that 3 means it's going to be a base hit no matter who is out there. That is going to be the first hit for the Wizards. As that one squeaks by Grich. So Hornsby takes first. He's not going to go anywhere. And brings up Ozzie Smith. Bottom of the order, and it's another defense check. Third base error. That's a 5. 1 to 29 would be an error, but that's a 37, so that's going to be a ground out advance. So that's going to be a 5 to 3, and Hornsby takes second on the throw. So 2 out. There's a man in scoring position here for Charleston. Another defense check. Shortstop range, 81 is going to be good. C is well above 32, so that's going to be a ground out to short to end the inning. And once again, the Wizards are left scoreless. Bottom of the 3rd and top of the order as Lofton faces Carlton. Patient, 31, and Lofton will walk to lead off the inning. 9 jump. He has an 8, so that he will not try to attempt to steal here. Ichiro. 12 is a sack bunt, so he is going to attempt a bunt here. It's a D95. This could be interesting. D95. That's a possible error. So let's see who's fielding the ball here. 6. 6 is the catcher. So that's Mike Piazza back there. If we're going to roll a 1d6, and if it's higher than Piazza's error rating, then there's an error, and the batter's going to be safe at first. Otherwise, it's going to be a regular sacrifice. So Piazza has an error rating of 3. And he is going to make an error here. Safe all the way around. It's unfortunate. So instead of 1 out and man on second, they have no outs and men on first and second. That brings up Alex Rodriguez, who homered in his last at bat. Tough 15. He strikes him out this time. Carlton much better in this at bat against, much better against Alex Rodriguez than this at bat. Brings up Dick Allen. 10-35, and that's going to be another strikeout. Back-to-back strikeouts to go with the back-to-back home runs from the first inning. Manny Ramirez, 2 down and 2 runners on. In play, 45. That's going to be higher than that. It's a comebacker to Carlton there, who throws over to first for out number 3, and he escapes the error there and doesn't allow any runs. So we head to the bottom of the 4th, or excuse me, the top of the 4th, as Tanana faces off against Orlando Cepeda. Patient, 66. Is beyond that range, so it is a fly out to right. Chipper Jones. Ballpark. Chipper's batting righty here. 68 is going to be in the wheelhouse range, and 49 is going to be just over the wall for a home run. And just like that, the Detroit lead is cut in half. Chipper Jones has gotten the team back into this one. Let's see if that shifts the momentum at all. Tanana against Stan Musial here, a tough 86. And that's going to be a ground out to Grich for out number 2. Larry Walker. 2 down, nobody on. Tough 59. And that's going to be a base hit. That is slapped into right. Ichiro's up with it, and Walker is on first. He's not going to go anywhere. So it brings up Tony Gwynn with 2 outs and Walker at first. In play 47. And Gwynn slaps that one in for a base hit. Walker takes third on the base hit with 2 outs. Runners with a run rating of 6 or higher take 2 bases. And here Gwynn, 6, 7, 68. I don't know if that's high enough. No, it's not. Gwynn stays put smartly. He will put things in the hands of Mike Piazza here. Ballpark. 3. That's a wheelhouse. 51. That one's deep. And Piazza has put the Wizards on top with a 3-run homer here in the 4th. 4 runs here for the Wizards. And they take a 4-2 lead. Detroit fans not happy with that. Hornsby steps in. Let's see if Tanana can get out of this inning. In play 80, he will. There'll be a fly out to Lofton in center, but not before a lot of damage was done. The Wizards now up 4-2 here as we head to the bottom of the 4th. Carlton facing off against Munson. Tough 89. And that's a ground out to short. Momentum shifted here. Blackwell steps in. Patient 27, and he walks. So Blackwell takes first base. Jump 7. So he's not going anywhere. Adrian Beltre. Tough 88. G6, that's going to be a double play since 4 is less than both of the 6s here. And that's a 6-4-3 double play to end the inning. Carlton with those 2 mistakes in the first, but he's been pitching well since that point. We head to the top of the 5th. Wizards up 4-2. Ozzie Smith. Patient 77. That is going to be a fly out to Lofton in center for out number 1. Charleston. In play 2. That's going to be a double in the gap. Charleston rounds first and heads into second. He gets in there standing up. So, threatening again here. Orlando Cepeda. I guess Charleston with a 5 steal rating. Let's see if he gets a jump. He does not. It has to be doubles. Less than 5. In play 50. All right, that's a ground out back to Tanana there. And Charleston will hold at second. 2 down. Chipper Jones, who homered to start things in the 4th inning. Start the scoring, I should say. In play 18. And that's going to be a base hit that's going to score Charleston. St. Louis suddenly showing some offense. Still 2 down. Chipper Jones on first. Stan the man. Tough 84. And that's going to be a ground out to end the inning. But not before they score another run. Wizards up 5-2, heading to the bottom of the 5th. Bobby Grich. Tough 15, and that's going to be a strikeout. Grich swings and misses. Back to the top of the order here with Kenny Lofton. Walked in his last at bat. Ballpark, 39. That's going to be a wheelhouse, but 94 is way too high for it to be anything damaging. That's a deep fly ball that Walker is able to haul in there at the wall for out number 2. Ichiro, 2 down. That's a defense check. Third base error. And Chipper Jones has a 3 error rating, 1 to 49. It is an error, and it is a 42, so that will be a 1 base error for Chipper. Not able to hold on to that one. And once again, the defense here rears its head. Jump of 12 means we're going to check to make sure there's no pickoff. Carlton's hold rating is 7. 34. I'm pretty sure that's fine. 734. Yep, safe. All right, let's see what Ichiro does here. Or excuse me, Alex Rodriguez is up with Ichiro on first. Tough 49. And that is going to be a strikeout. Rodriguez watches strike 3 go by. He's shaking his head there, but close call. That takes us to the 6th inning, and Walker leading things off here for the Wizards. Tough 48, and he strikes out. He'll strike out looking on that one. Again, if it's an 8, 9, or 0, it's a strikeout looking, or that's how I score it. Tony Gwynn, patient 41, and that's going to be a walk. Gwynn gets ahead in the count, and he'll trot to first. His jump rating means he's not going anywhere. Mike Piazza, the hero of the 4th inning, steps in. And that may be another one. 14, that's a wheelhouse 5, and that is another home run for Mike Piazza. A 2-run shot. That puts the Wizards up 7-2. Detroit, taking a look at their bullpen here. This game's quickly getting out of reach. And they are going to bring in, since Steve may be pitching tomorrow, they're going to bring in David Cone again. Since it's just the 6th inning. So Tanana not able to get much done here. And David Cone will come in to face Hornsby. 1 out in the 6th. Tough 90. And that is a ground out to short. 2 down for Ozzie Smith. Tough 89. And that's a ground out to second to end the inning, but not before Mike Piazza punishes Frank Tanana for the 2nd time this game. Wizards up 7-2. It's looking good for them. Carlton facing Dick Allen here in the 6th, the bottom of the 6th. Tough 88. That's going to be a ground out to short for the first out. Carlton's only allowed 3 hits. 2 of those were the home runs in the 1st inning. He allowed a double to Munson in the 2nd and nothing since then. Manny Ramirez. In play 46. And he lines out to Hornsby at 2nd. For out number 2, Thurman Munson. 1 for 2 this game, 2 for 7 in the World Series. Tough 12. He strikes him out this time. 1-2-3 inning for Carlton. He is cruising right now. Cone will face off against Charleston here in the 7th. Tough 90. And that's going to be a ground out to second. Cepeda's 0 for 3. Normally McCovey would be batting here against righties, but they'll let Cepeda hit, Tough 18, and he strikes out looking. He watches that one go by, and that's the second out. Cone so far, four straight batters faced and 4 straight outs here. Chipper Jones, he's 2 for 3 today, 3 for 5 in the World Series. Ballpark. And he's going to be a lefty. That's a wheelhouse 85. That's higher than his wheelhouse range, and he's going to ground out to second. So we head to the bottom of the 7th. Charlie Blackwell in to face Steve Carlton. Tough 67. That's going to be a single. That's only the 4th hit allowed by Carlton today. And that one just squeaked through the infield. Blackwell won't go anywhere. Brings up Adrian Beltre. He's not going to sacrifice bunt. Tough 28. That's a strikeout. Beltre watches that one go by. Rich, he's 2 for 6 in the series. 0 for 2 today. In play 22. And that's going to be another base hit. Let's see which direction it goes. It's going to be to left, so Blackwell will hold up at second. Kenny Lofton. They have a chance to do something here. 1 down, but runners on first and second. Tough 89. That's not going to be it. That's going to be a ground out to second. Since it's a 10, it is going to be a 4-3 and runners advance. So we have runners on second and third, 2 down in each row up. Contact hitter here. Patient, 72. He's ahead in the count, but swings away. And that's going to be a ground out to short to end the inning. Each row, 0 for 4 today. Reached twice on error. But not able to do anything here. All right, David Cone. He went 2 innings. Just enough of what they needed him to do. Actually, he didn't go full 2 innings. He went 1 2/3 innings. 1.2. And 5 1/3 for Tanana. And they will bring in Urban Shocker here. Shocker doesn't get much work out of the bullpen, but they're going to bring him in here to eat some innings. Hopefully. Down by 5. Shocker deals to Stan. In play 59, and that's going to be a fly out to left. Musial's been quiet, 2 for 14. He only had 1 home run so far this series, but been pretty quiet otherwise. Brings up Larry Walker. In play 63. And Walker grounds out to Beltre there for out number 2. Tony Gwynn. Patient 28. Gwynn draws the walk. That's a 12 jump, so we're going to look for a pickoff. Doubtful with a hold of 9. Hold of 9, 78. Nope. He is back in time. So Mike Piazza, he's already has 2 homers today, 2 for 3. In play 92. This one, though, is just going to be a fly out. Fly out to Manny Ramirez there and left to end the inning. So we head to the 8th. The bottom of the 8th, I should say. Alex Rodriguez facing off against Steve Carlton. Carlton has a fatigue of 8. But he's really only allowed 2 runs there in the first inning. St. Louis does have some room to spare here. They will keep Carlton in there for one more inning. Tough 33, and he's going to strike out A-Rod for the third time this game. Dick Allen. Patient 93. Allen able to work the count, and he gets a base hit here. They do have Jesse Haynes warming up in the bullpen. That brings up Manny Ramirez here with Allen on first. Allen not going to go anywhere here with the jump rating. In play 35 is just beyond the hit range here. And Ramirez pops that one up to Ozzie Smith at short for out number 2. Thurman Munson, 2 down, runner on first. And he strikes him out. That will likely be the last batter that Carlton faces here. But he did exactly what he needed to do. And Urban Shocker stays in to face the bottom of the Wizards' order. Kind of just going through the motions at this point with St. Louis with a 5-run lead. Hornsby. In play 15. That's going to be a base hit. Hornsby's 2 for 4 and 5 for 13 on the series. He's not going to go anywhere. That brings up Ozzie Smith, who will sack on a 2, 3, or 11. And that is a 2. 92. 6. We're going to see who it goes to. 6. Is to the catcher. His sack bunt is a B. B94. B94. Miss. Batter misses pitch. All right, so that's interesting. So we're going to get another shot at it here. We'll roll these dice this time. 33. That's probably going to be good. 33 is a sack, and that was to the catcher. So sacrifice hit. Smith moves him up. Hornsby advances to second. Munson over to Allen there at first for the first out. And gets them back to the top of the order here with Charleston. Tough 81. That's going to be a fly out to Lofton in center for out number 2. And I believe, actually, runner fly out, advance to third, hit to center 8 or more, and I think Charleston... Oh, no, it's Hornsby. So he stays on. Hornsby only has a 7 run, so he's going to stay on there. All right, Cepeda facing off against Urban Shocker. In play 60, and that's going to be the end of the inning here as Beltre tosses over to Allen for out number 3. So we head to the bottom of the 9th. Carlton will exit this game, and Jesse Haynes will come into pitch. Haynes also doesn't get much action. That seems like a good spot for him with a 5-run lead. Suter will be warming up just in case. Charlie Blackwell, who is 7 for 13 this series, and he is 8 for 14 as that one's deep and gone. Home run for Blackwell, and the score is 7-3. That brings up Adrian Beltre. In play 69, and that is a ground out to second for the first out here. Bobby Grich will likely not bat as Detroit will look to increase this lead. They will have Mark McGuire pinch hitting here. Pinch hit. McGuire. Haynes deals. Tough 94. And McGuire's going to fly out there to Stan Musial in left for out number 2. Does get them back to the top of the order here. Kenny Lofton. In play 67, and that is going to be the game here, as that's another fly out to left. And just like that, at the very least, the Wizards avoid a sweep as they take the first game in Detroit here, 7-3. Carlton with the win, Tanana with the loss. And we'll take a look at the box score here in just a moment. All right, we take a look at the box score, and here's where we see here. Carlton, 8 innings pitched, 2 earned runs, struck out 10, only allowed 6 hits. 2 of those were those solo shots in the first inning, the only, or almost the only runs for the Rockets. They did have that other home run by Charlie Blackwell there in the 9th. Frank Tanana, 5 1/3 innings pitched, allowed 7 runs. Most of that damage done by Mike Piazza. Piazza 2 for 4 with 5 RBI. Both hits were homers. And he was responsible for 5 of the 7 Wizards runs. So, St. Louis, 7 runs on 9 hits, committed 2 errors. Detroit, 3 runs on 7 hits, committed 1 error themselves. And just like that, the Wizards are right back in this one. It didn't look good as Detroit took the first 2 games in St. Louis. But we're finding that home field advantage didn't mean too much as Detroit loses the first game in Detroit by a score of 7-3. These 2 teams will be back at it tomorrow. Let's see the pitchers. Detroit, Urban Shocker got 2 innings here, and St. Louis, Haynes got an inning, and Carlton got 8 innings. So Carlton with 8, Haynes with 1. So we will see Carl Hubble coming again on 3 days rest. And he will face off against probably Dave Stieb, actually. Clemens could come out on 3 days rest himself. Actually, he may. He only pitched 7 innings in his first start. So they may put him out there on short rest. Or they may just bring Steve out there. They do have a 2-1 lead on the Wizards. So tune in tomorrow for the June 7th game with the St. Louis Wizards coming in, or in Detroit, I should say, to play the Detroit Rockets. With all that said, thank you so much for stopping by and watching, and until next time, have a great evening.